All right, so this episode's about people who bring their babies to restaurants. Now, I understand that you can't just leave your baby at home with a full bowl of food and water like I do for my cat, but if your baby's being obnoxious and disrupting everyone else's dining experience, then that's when it's an issue. Just the other day, there was a couple and their baby was screaming like one of those xenomorphs from the Alien movies. And the crazy thing about this was that the parents didn't do anything. They could have just gone outside or gone to the bathroom to calm the baby down, but they just acted like nothing was happening. The baby was in one of those carriers, and not even in one of those slings that hold the carriers, just on the floor. And the mom was just kind of rocking the carrier with her foot. The thing that blows my mind about this is that everyone was staring at them, but the parents weren't doing anything about it. They just pretended that nothing was happening. And if I wasn't looking at them, I would have sworn that Sigourney Weaver was over there kicking some xenomorph butt in that power loader exosuit. Now that wasn't my table, but I did have a party of 6 one time, and they had a baby in a high chair at the end of the table, and the baby was crying so much that the dad just turned the baby around. So now he's facing out into the restaurant and still screaming and crying. I guess his mentality was, well, the baby's not screaming into our booth now, so we're fine. But the dad of the family across the way that the baby was now screaming at looked up from his meal and was like, what the f*** is this? The dad had to have said something because they turned the baby back around shortly after. I just think that's hilarious that they would just turn their baby away because they didn't want to deal with it. So this next story might be a little crappy. I had a family of 3 in a 4-top booth. A mom, a dad, and a baby, once again in a high chair at the end of the table. Now the only way I can most accurately describe what happened is the baby shit himself. Now this wasn't like your average baby dirty diaper. This was like the baby had a night full of Taco Bell and then topped it off with some of those spicy chicharrones from 7-Eleven. Now I expected the parents to do what any other parent would do and go to the restroom and change their baby. But when I came back to tell them that the food was going to come out in a couple minutes, I noticed that no one did anything yet. Their food comes out and I go to check on them again, and they still didn't change the diaper. It smells terrible. I get a whiff of food and baby mess and kind of choke. You can tell they were embarrassed, but they still didn't do anything about it. They end up finishing their food, and I come back to the table and they have that look on their face like a dog that's embarrassed because it knows it did something wrong, and they wouldn't look me in the eye. The baby, I think, was sitting in its poop for so long that it kind of stopped what it was doing and looked at me and was like, is anyone going to do anything about this? I couldn't think of any reason why a parent wouldn't change their baby's diaper, but then I thought, oh, maybe they forgot to bring diapers or they didn't bring anything to clean up the mess. But if that was the case, I would totally just use those cloth napkins or wrap my baby in some paper towels or something. Makeshift diapers all day, because that baby's Taco Bell, chicharrone, 7-Eleven poop was really, really bad. And I feel sorry for him for having to sit through that. So next time you decide to visit a restaurant with your baby and they're being fussy or screaming, just keep in mind that you're not the only ones there and that there are other guests trying to enjoy their meals too. And also, don't feed your baby chicharrones, because everyone's gonna regret that the next day.